What's going on, everyone? Vampyr Gaming. We are in today's video. We're going to talk about what happened last night. We had the World Finals. Huge congrats to Guan for bringing it home. Hervoye for securing second, and of course, my personal goat Clyde for getting third in the World Finals of One Piece. So yesterday there was a stream. It ran from about 5 p.m. our time to 5 a.m. Through all the games, through all the events, and during that, of course, they had teased that there would be an update to bans, and we got that. And I've been seeing a lot of different information, a lot of people saying a lot of different things, and so we're going to clarify what cards got banned, were any cards restricted, does this apply to the US, who does it apply to, and all of those things. So let's go ahead and dive in. So we've got this graphic came up during the event. They displayed this, and so now the question is, were they banned or restricted? What was hit? We saw a lot of things there, so you can see here the thing says notice of prohibited / restricted card updates. So it was possible that some of these could be restricted, but no. It says the following cards will be added to the list of banned cards that cannot be included in your deck. I've seen some people say they're limited. For Reject and Great Eruption, they are not limited. These are flat out banned. And then also Sakazuki. And if you're happy Sakazuki was banned, best thing you can do is check out my new site, vamptcg.com. We have the Year of the Dragon sleeves. They are like slightly transparent. I don't love how they came out, so slightly less on those. And then we of course have the Emperor sleeves there. Love those. Definitely check those out. Link in YouTube video description, or just head to vamptcg.com and check those out. Sakazuki is banned. The leader, just too good. I've always said he has two effects that you can do for absolutely free, which is just the craziest thing I've ever seen, because there are leaders that get way less for way more. And it felt very unfair, especially with the color combination. And of course, the finals for Nats was all Sakazuki. Oops. All Sakazuki. So top 4 all Sakazuki, and it just again goes to show you the strength of this deck. But so Bandai went ahead, banned these cards. So we're gonna take a look at these cards here. You might not be familiar with them, but Great Eruption, of course, I'm sure we're all familiar with this. We also all know Sakalaka, but Great Eruption, draw 1 card, then give up to one of your opponent's characters, -2 cost during this turn. So this, of course, they not only banned Sakazuki, but they hurt Gecko Moria and Robert Lucci with this. This card honestly felt really good. At one point, we all thought this card was bad, and it went from a bad card to one of the best cards to being ban-worthy. So we've got Great Eruption. Now, this card, some of you all might not be familiar with. So this is Reject, and it saw play in every yellow deck. I believe, essentially, NL was playing this at 4, though. It says main. Choose one. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 5 cost or less. Clean, simple removal. And then it also has another one. If your opponent has 1 life card, deal 1 damage to your opponent, then add 1 card from the top of your life cards to your hand. So this card allows you to go for lethal in many occurrences in which you might not have been able to before. Because if you only have your leader and they have no blocker but they have 1 life, you can still just boom, and you can swing 12. You can, or 6, 11. You can swing 11. 12 if you have a Maru. And so this card saw a ton of play, and then of course just trigger, draw 1 card. I do think obviously yellow needed to be hit in some instance, because Katakuri was also playing this. I saw it at like 2 of in Katakuri, but again, just having KO ability, so it's like Thunderbolt, and being able to remove like Sabo, pretty much any blocker. So you could do that if a blocker was in your way, or if they only had 1 life, you can do that and also go for lethal. Gross in an L, because you can use this and just like peel both of their heals. It's gross. And then, of course, one of the cards. So a lot of people are saying Sakazuki was errataed. Just want to clarify and clear up some information around that. So during that, you can see this is translated, but it says notice of new promotional card distribution. So it technically is not an errata. The Sakazuki card is not changed. Sakazuki can become unbanned in the future, like OP-07. I guess it'd just be OP-10. But they're printing a new Sakazuki to replace this one, but it's a promo. So I've seen some people saying that it's going to be in a pack later down the line. This most likely will be like some sort of entry promo from your locals. Now, are we going to get this in English? There's no guarantees. There's no guarantees, and we'll talk about that in a sec. But this promo, there's no guarantees that we're going to see this released in English. But it very well could be. Like, I imagine if they do, though, it'll probably be like an entry pack. It should be widely available, but he sucks. So this Sakazuki, not good. He is not good. His ability is activate main, and this is what his ability should have been from the beginning, because they went from him having 2 free effects to him having 1 effect that costs. Activate main. Once per turn, you may discard 1 card from your hand with the Navy type. So you have to discard a Navy, then go up to one of your opponent's characters, -1 cost for the turn. So no more free attack, no more free cycle, and you have to discard to minus. So honestly, probably what he should have been to begin with. I know a lot of people will disagree with that, but this is going to be a promo. It says it will be future... They will distribute it at future tournaments and events. I'm sure it's going to be like an everybody gets for entry thing just to get him widespread out there and in circulation. But I'm sure nobody's going to want to play this. Now, of course, does any of this apply to English? No. And a lot of people are like, how do you know? So the English had a broadcast. The broadcast ended. The broadcast meant for Asia continued. So English had completely ended. Broadcast for Asia continued. And so we switched over to that during my live stream, and we watched it be announced, broke the news as soon as we saw. It was a huge day. But it is quite possible that we see this in OP-07. This is an OP-07 ban list. Japan is in OP-07. Keep in mind, if we're going to see a ban list in English, it does not mean it's going to be this. If we're going to see one in OP-06, it should be completely unique. It is quite possible we see their version in OP-07. We just have to wait for an announcement from the English channels. Like when they banned Kabaji and Boat a few days later, we got the notice that we would see those banned at the start of the format, whereas theirs became in the middle. This takes place in April, so they have a month, which felt a bit unique, but they have a month before these bans take a place there. But yes, so OP-06, we know nothing as far as bans go. It is highly likely that we see these in OP-07, and there's no for sure if they will release the Sakazuki promo here, because we don't know if they're going to ban him, or if by the time OP-07 comes out, they do a revised list in OP-08 to where they like change some things around again. But I think it makes sense. They banned Whitebeard, and it was a great move. Sakazuki, again, having 2 effects that you get for absolutely free, when other leaders will have like Dawn X1, Dawn X2, and do nowhere near the magnitude. But yeah, so we're not guaranteed to see this in English. This only applies for Asia as it stands. Sakazuki promo, unsure if we see that, but I'm sure if we do, it's going to be widely distributed, but it's not going to be in a pack. Sakazuki won't be in a pack like that you can open like OP-06, OP-07, Extra Booster 1, Extra Booster 2, anything like that. And then, of course, the final question I have for you all is, with this ban list being announced, what card do you think should be banned? Me personally, honestly, near the end, I felt like Okiku could have been one. Okiku feels really strong. And then, of course, there's the Beji, There's Big Mom. I think Moria should have been banned, but I think Great Eruption does do a number on the deck because just that minus with your hand size not changing and not dedicating resources was a big deal. Super excited to see everything come out. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you found this content of value. If you could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton.